Live from FiftyForward Bordeaux. We're glad to have All of Us Research Project here today. And now I'm going to introduce our MC, Keith Richardson. Come on up, Keith.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Awesome. Well, hello again. Welcome and thankful for all of us. This is a celebration of 5 years with the All of Us Research Program brought to you by FiftyForward. My name is Keith Richardson, and I am the All of Us Outreach Coordinator for FiftyForward. Formed in 1956, FiftyForward supports, champions, enhances the lives of those 50 and older, and serves close to 20,000 older adults annually through a wide variety of programs and services. So give a round of applause for that. That's awesome. FiftyForward is also a proud national community engagement partner for the All of Us Research Program from the National Institutes of Health. If you haven't yet heard, All of Us seeks to change the future of healthcare by advancing precision medicine. Specifically, the program is seeking 1 million people from diverse backgrounds to volunteer and share their health information, helping researchers find better treatment and cures for all of us. Over 720,000 have enrolled so far, with 80% of those coming from underrepresented communities. You can learn more and even join by visiting our website at joinallofus.org/FiftyForward. Today we are delighted to welcome some special guests that will be helping us celebrate the program's 5-year anniversary and achievements so far. But before we get into that, we want to give a big thank you to the Center Director, Melvin Fowler, and the FiftyForward Bordeaux Center for hosting this event today. So give a round of applause for Melvin. So, today's event aims to highlight some of the program's accomplishments thus far, as well as providing testimonials and for participants that have already enrolled. We have a Q&A at the end of the program as well. We also want to acknowledge all of our viewers watching on Facebook, hello, including a very special group of ladies, the Delta Deers. The Delta Deers belongs to the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, which also sponsors the Delta Research and Education Foundation, or we like to call DREF. DREF, like FiftyForward, is one of the 4 original national community engagement partners for the All of Us Research Program. FiftyForward is excited to begin a new partnership with DREF as we work together to create awareness about all of us. As a special treat, DREF's program manager, Pastor K. Williams Dawson, has recorded a video, and we will play that now.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. K. Williams Dawson, Program Manager for DREF, Research Matters for All of Us. And I am excited to introduce a strategic partnership to the Southern region that will ensure our Tennessee members and Delta Deers live well and thrive. Delta Deers, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, DREF, and FiftyForward have joined forces to engage older adults in Nashville, Tennessee, and the Southern region. We are inviting sorors to join the All of Us Research Program to learn how this initiative can benefit you. This town hall meeting will share more information about this partnership. Thank you for joining us today. For additional information, please email me at kwdawson@deltafoundation.net. Thank you.
So let's give a round of applause to Pastor K. Thank you, Pastor K, for that lovely message. We look forward to working with you at DREF this year. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our first guest, FiftyForward Chief Program Officer Gretchen Funk. Gretchen Funk is the Chief Program Officer for FiftyForward in Nashville, Tennessee, where she oversees 7 lifelong learning centers and the provisions of support services for older adults. She is also Principal Investigator for FiftyForward's National Institutes of Health funded All of Us Research Program Award. Gretchen is a graduate of the University of Notre Dame with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Government and Spanish. She earned a master's degree in social work from Hunter College School of Social Work, City University of New York. In 2019, she completed an All-State Foundation Kellogg School, Northwestern University nonprofit executive leadership development program. Gretchen's professional career began in New York City, where she specialized in housing and program development at Brooklyn's Catholic Charities. Her professional experience also includes direct and client services at the Southern Arizona AIDS Foundation, the largest HIV and AIDS service organization in Southern Arizona. Throughout her career, she has been devoted to service to the most vulnerable and underrepresented individuals in our community. Please join me in welcoming Gretchen Funk.
And thank you, FiftyForward Bordeaux, and greetings from Nashville, Tennessee, as Melvin and other folks have said. I am so glad to be able to provide some highlights and updates about the All of Us Research Program now. And we are really looking forward to welcoming an additional partner today, Dr. Michael Miner from the National Baptist Convention. And thanks so much to Dr. Kay from Delta Sigma Theta Sorority and the Delta Research and Educational Foundation for sharing her thoughts about our partnership and about all of us. Go back. I want to remind us about what we are a part of. So this is a slide featuring Francis Collins, who was the longtime director of the National Institutes of Health. And he said, all of us is among the most ambitious research efforts that our nation has undertaken. So we are part of something very, very big. So I would like a round of applause for all of us for that. Very exciting. I'd like to give a few statistics. We all love numbers so much, but these are very exciting numbers about the number of participants enrolled right now, 732,000. So what number are we aiming for? How many are we aiming to enroll? 1 million. So that is super close. We are getting very close to 1 million. 502,000 have completed all the initial steps of the program. 80% are from groups underrepresented in biomedical research, which, as we know, is a very important principle and value of all of us. And almost 50% are underrepresented related to their racial and ethnic identity. Also, and I'll talk a little bit about this, we have over 600 registered institutions and more than 7,500 researchers who are using that data that we have taken the time to provide. Very exciting. I'm going to share with you the program priorities for this year. So we were lucky as a FiftyForward team, and other partners were as well, to get to go at the end of October to Washington, D.C. to meet together as a program. So when we first became involved with All of Us, NIH told us this is a team science approach. And I thought, what does that mean exactly? But what it means is that we are all co-creating this program together. So the feedback that we provide is really considered. The feedback that you all provide to us about what's important to you is really considered. So at that meeting, Dr. Josh Denny, who is the CEO of the All of Us Research Program, highlighted these priorities, and I'm giving him credit for some of the information on these slides. And I'd like everyone to notice that circle that says guided by engagement and health equity. So I think that is very important. You know, you're going to see that highlighted around all of these different priorities. And health equity, that is defined as the attainment of the highest level of health for all people, where everyone has a fair and just opportunity to attain optimal health, regardless of race, ethnicity, disability, geography, or any other factors. And that's what we're really all trying for, is health equity. So where we are all represented, all of our children, all of our neighbors have the chance to be represented in this research program. So first, I'm going to touch on that first goal, which was enrollment of pediatric age group. So from the very beginning, the aim was always to include children, because we can learn a lot, of course, if we can understand children's health as well. So from the beginning, the program has worked with people 18 and over, and by the end of this year, they're going to enroll their first pediatric participants. So you can see at the bottom of the slide that they've divided into 3 age groups, and they're going to be starting with that birth to 6-year-old age group, and the first participants will probably be children of current All of Us participants. Because we know that's exciting too. If you can look at a family's health, you can learn even more things. So very exciting, and this slide really illustrates how thoughtful and intentional the program is. You can see laid out very many steps. Everything is very much considered carefully, like the protection of our data is so carefully considered. This plan for involving children in the program is also very carefully considered. Next priority, and this is really our area, is enrollment. So the aim to enroll 120,000 people this year, 60,000, so half of those being from diverse groups racially and ethnically. So that, if we can enroll 120,000 people this year, that keeps us on track to get to 1 million participants by 2026, which would be around the 10-year anniversary of the program. So just looking at enrollment a little bit more. So there is more talk this year and in recent years about what it means to be a core participant. So you can see on this slide, there are the different steps that you can go through to enroll with the program, from just creating an account, showing you're interested, learning more, all the way through providing your physical measurements. And really getting to that core participant where all those check marks are is what we would like to see happen, because then you are really robustly involved with the program. You're giving all that you can give so that the researchers can learn all that they can learn. So if you are at one of these steps in the process and you need some help getting to that core participant status, we are here for you. You can get a hold of FiftyForward, you can get a hold of another community partner, because we really want to help fight any barriers to get you to that core participation. And then the third priority for 2023 is researcher access. So we want to be sure that researchers are involved and using the data that you all have provided and that the program has worked so hard to gather, because that's where all this information is going to come that will help all of the health of all of us in the future. So just some highlights already around researcher engagement. You can see on here, we are already exceeding our goals in researcher access as of October. So there has been a real focus on all researchers being welcome, but really reaching out to involve underrepresented researchers even more. That idea that just like certain groups have been underrepresented in research, maybe because they weren't invited, we need to invite researchers who are from racial and ethnic minorities, who might be new professionals, so that they know they are really who we want looking at this data. So you can see, I shared some of the statistics already, but this is amazing to me. 96% of the researchers looking at this data are from diverse groups. So that's amazing. That's very unusual. And you can see that little breakdown. It's very small on the slide, but the different racial and ethnic groups. And then there are 40 historically black colleges and universities and 57 Hispanic serving institutions that are already using our data. So they're going to be looking at it from a certain perspective, and that's what we want. We want everybody to look at things from the perspective that will give us the most information. So looking ahead to 2024, I cannot believe we are in November of 2023, so 2024 is right around the corner. The program is going to continue to move forward with all of our priorities, so you can see that pediatrics. We will enroll some children before the end of the year, but there will be much more work to be done to enroll children up through the age of 17. You'll see more information about return of results, so your DNA results, your genetic ancestry, your health results. We're going to really focus on that enrollment and retention to get us to that 1 million enrolled people. And then you're going to see new technology. So I have certainly learned new things, just like we learned some new things at this bingo and the other game that we played today. We are going to learn about new technologies that are going to provide us with even more insights into our health. So very exciting that the program is looking at all of those opportunities. So thank you so much for giving me a few minutes to talk about where we are right now with the All of Us research program and to talk about a little bit about what's to come in the future. I am going to hand this back to our MC, Keith, now. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gretchen, for those amazing, informative slides. And we will continue with the program. So our next up, I have the pleasure of introducing our next special guest speaker, Dr. Michael Manner. Dr. Michael O. Miner is a national known champion of faith-based health and wellness mobilization. He is best known as the Southern pastor who banned fried chicken in his church. I want to hear about that. After receiving his undergraduate degree in economics from Harvard University, Dr. Miner earned his master's degree in business administration and real estate development and a doctorate degree in higher and adult education from the University of Memphis. He is an associate faculty member at the University of Phoenix and is published in research who continues to conduct primary research. As a community organizer for nearly 25 years, Dr. Miner has worked on community empowerment, nonprofit business development, faith community issues. An anointed, prolific gospel preacher, he currently serves as the under shepherd of the Oak Hill Baptist Church, the Hill Hernando Church family in Hernando, Mississippi, president of the Mid-South Churches Cooperative Conference of Baptist State Convention, co-chair of the National Faith-Based Mobilization Network, and the national director of the HOPE, which stands for Health and Human Services, Partnership of the National Baptist Convention of the United States. He is also a co-principal investigator in the All of Us research program of the National Institutes of Health. Dr. Miner is also married with 3 wonderful daughters and a darling granddaughter. Please help me welcome Dr. Michael Miner.
Thank you. Look, I apologize for getting here when I did, but it's traffic. Between Memphis and Nashville. Well, greetings to everyone that's here in person, and greetings to our wonderful audience there on Facebook. We're glad to be here to share on today. People often begin with what people ask me all the time. And we're talking about this all of us research and health and stuff. They say, why did I, as a Southern Baptist pastor, ban fried chicken in the church? I get asked it all the time. Well, we need a symbol. You know, as Christians, the cross is the symbol of our salvation. And so I said, if we're going to be serious about health, we need a symbol. And I learned something about the fried chicken, that there weren't very many people that were actually cooking it at home. They were going to the chicken house and buying it. All right? And so if you actually had some cooked at home, baked chicken or grilled chicken, and put it against the fried chicken, the baked chicken and the grilled chicken went over. And it did. And of course, you started having salads and fruit. And we had folks that started getting healthier. They got tired of doing funerals. The running joke there was that if you want your loved one to die, have Pastor Miner pray for him. But the deal was, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, just all of these. But I will tell you, it took us a couple of years, but we started getting healthier. As a matter of fact, one lady lost so much weight and started looking so good until her husband, who hadn't been going to church, started going. you know, all of a sudden she's real pretty now. But she felt good about that. And everything. And I said it kind of segue about the All of Us research program. That's why we're excited about it. For these type of things, it's all part of our health, doing better about who we are, where we are, not only at our church in Hernando, but across our denomination, the National Baptist Convention, USA Incorporated. You know, the thing about All of Us that makes it great is that, look, I'm looking across this room, and how many of y'all that's on high blood pressure medicine had to be experimented on by your doctor until you got it right? Yeah. Well, we're going to try this.
Yeah.
All right, then you get sick or something. Well, we try something else. Then you get you the right medicine. We got to get you the right dose. And you done been through it all.
Right.
Well, one of the promises of the All of Us research program is that we go through this. When the opportunity comes, if people have this in the future, then we'll know based upon age, race, gender, all that stuff, we'll know not only the right medication, but we'll also know the right dosage. And so all these things, I know all of y'all are already registered, you're already enrolled in All of Us research program, because we'll leave a legacy for our children, and grandchildren. So I just know that, so kudos to you and how that works. I will say for the National Baptist, we have another aspect of All of Us research program that we're interested in. It's sickle cell. I guarantee you, everybody here knows somebody.
Yeah, I got
And sickle cell. Yeah, exactly. We're on the trait. On the trait. We're hoping that through this, in the database, there is a good percentage of people who have already enrolled in the program, have shared their saliva and blood sample and all this other type of stuff. And we're hoping now through the workbench that we'll have what? At least better treatments for sickle cell, or maybe even a cure. So seriously, through the All of Us research program, kind of backdoor, but we now have funds for more research dealing with sickle cell than ever before. So I'm hoping that you go and those people in your family, extended family, your friends, frenemies, you would talk to them about that and get them involved and be a part of this. And we hope this can make this happen. All right. Then the other thing about it that I love is that it's got us involved in the front end. Using these studies, you got a lot of people with a lot of alphabets after their name and stuff, and kind of rolls up. But when this got started, when President Obama, and I was tied up, I didn't get a chance to go to the White House when they made the announcement, but I had one of our team members to go there. And when I seen the video, just to hear him talk about it and the promise of the future, this is the last part of his legacy that he did before his term was over. So I feel like the same way we do with a bunch of other things, as we participate in this All of Us research program, we're continuing that legacy and being a part of that to make that happen. I'm not dealing with the politics side. I'm just saying what it is. He came up with it, thought about this aspect of it, and here we are. Now, the other piece with our wonderful seasoned saints. You know what I love about the All of Us research program, most of all? It's not a sick research program. A lot of this stuff deals with why you're sick. You get these programs, you got high blood pressure? Well, let's see if you have. Really, one of the things that talks about this is how you got to this age. See, the oldest person here is 90 what?
Come down.
About
Come
that.
down. Come down more.
89? 89.
Oh, 99.
I know it'd be a 90-something somewhere. All right? So then, wonderful. You'll live a day over. You'll live a day over 60. You know, 9 is a new 60 now, they say. Okay, I know. I had a church member that said that she was sleeping in bed with 3 men. Her husband, Arthur, and Ruma.
You forgot Bert.
Oh, okay, well, that's what she said.
Bert Cyrus.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You got 4 of them with you there.
Sit up straight, dear.
I had to think about what she was saying, and then, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But the idea was that it would be good as we learn more about how you live to 85, 90, and all these things. Guess what we can do? We can pass it on to other folks, and we can learn some things. So that's why I'm so excited to see the number of seasoned saints that are involved in this. And guess what? This year we started pediatric enrollment for the kids of 18. So some of y'all got grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Anybody double greats? Anybody got double greats? You got some double greats.
I've got 4. It's 4 generations.
All right, look at you. All right. And you the boss, the matriarch, the boss.
Yeah, lady kids.
Okay. Well, if you ever run to the rust spot, you just flip it around. Said I'm 86 or 68. Either way you won't roll with it. You know what I'm saying? But the power of the All of Us research program, wouldn't it be wonderful just to know what makes people healthy?
Yes.
And we kind of roll that around and do things. See, right now the way the system is set up, we just want to, we get sick. We got treatments for you when you get sick. But we don't have any discussion about what keeps you healthy. And it's more than just food, what you eat and exercise. a large part of it is about your mental awareness. It's great what 50Forward is doing here to offer you a platform, a forum where you come in and you can associate with others. You know, sometimes these young whippersnappers, they start talking about this Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and stuff. You know, every once in a while, you may have to talk to some folks who know something that happened before 1970. Yeah. Just kind of to roll with that stuff. Now look, my grandparents raised me, so I find myself sometimes talking about that stuff, and folks think I'm older than I am. I remind them, I wasn't born then, but I heard them talk about it over and over again. Still on December 7th, I still talk about Pearl Harbor Day. Right, for this generation that would be at over 9/11. So we talk about Pearl Harbor for. Well, when I was in my house on December 7th, it was a reminder. It's Pearl Harbor Day.
Yes.
So now I got older, I said Pearl Harbor. I had to get my mindset for 9/11, but anyway. But that's one thing about the discussions that we're looking at, how we can look at what keeps y'all going. What gets you excited about getting up every day. Even, look, my grandfather lived into his 90s, and I used to trip on him because he would always say, and was hard to get up. I played football through 1 year college. Guess what I do now?
Get up.
I said, I see now. But the one thing I admired about him, see, is he's a testament that you got to keep moving.
That's it.
He'd always tell me, you don't want to be like a barrel. Some of y'all may relate to this. He said, if you set a barrel and it stay in the same spot, it'll look good all around. But if you flip it over, the bottom rusted out. So he said, you got to keep moving. Keep moving. No matter how hard it was or whatnot, he kept moving. And then it aired years. I think he was like 93, 94, so long in there, but when he stopped driving tractor. So I do encourage y'all to keep moving. The other part about it is our mind. We got to do some things to keep us mentally stimulated. Okay? And you got to come up with some things that challenge you, even at your seasoned same age. Now look, if you got grandchildren and double great-great-grandchildren, if you've been around them long enough, it will definitely challenge you. It will definitely challenge your mind. In the two ways about it. So one thing we can look at in this All of Us research program is we can capture all these things. We had a special study that was a part of when the pandemic was on, that set out and asking people how they were dealing with the pandemic mentally. These are some of the offshoots of things that we can look at for the All of Us research program. And I'm hoping that you all are going all over Nashville, Davidson County, wherever you go, and telling people to join All of Us. And I think you all is different from ours. What is it? JoinAllOfUs.org/something. Yeah, JoinAllOfUs.org/FiftyForward. And be a part of that. Look, another tidbit about this initiative. One of the things that really got me excited was the fact that they are connecting people all across the country. They're doing this thing. Because here I am, I'm up here in Nashville. I'm based out of Hernando, Mississippi, live in Memphis. Anybody know what Hernando is? Oh, wow. Some people know what it is. Wonderful. Okay. There you go. Let's 30 miles south of Memphis. And make these connections. So we're cross-pollinating. We're sharing ideas. We're sharing information. The universities are working with us. Universities all across the country. And I love to talk to them and say, look, y'all doing a good job. But can you bring it down a little bit in some of your talk and some of the acronyms? Oh, alphabet said me and stuff. It's what? Huh? And look, and I got an alphabet after my name or two. If I don't understand, just imagine every person. Just bring it down a little taste. So we can understand, you know. At least down to the 10th grade, you know, and everything. So one of the things we talk about is how we can make things at the middle school level so everybody can understand it. Look, come on, maybe be honest with one another. Sometimes you go to the doctor's office and they talk in some words and things. You try to decipher what it is, and they're in a hurry because they gotta see 20 people in 10 slots. And then you feel bad to ask them something, and you know you want to Google it and stuff like that. We're trying to be nice. I'm gonna tell you something. One of the things we talk about in this is how we can be better communicating things going on and what we're doing. And so, look, give the feedback. 54 is a great advocate for being 50 and older and whatnot. So share those thoughts. Somebody's been to the doctor last month, and when you left out, you were like, what did he say? What am I supposed to do? Yeah. Then you go to the pharmacy, they give you some medicine. And now you know y'all don't take time to read all that stuff on that paper. About 4 or 5 pages. You get sick of something, say, oh, I ain't sent the medicine. But I gave you 4 or 5 pages to read. That's serious. So if you got a medication or something that you're looking at, you know what you need to do? You just, if you don't understand that medicine, ask your pharmacist. Now look, I got a new medication. Look, this is going to shock y'all. I got a new medication, and the pharmacist called me and asked me, do you have any questions with the new medication? Oh, y'all get the same calls too? I was like, that must be a new thing. I said, somebody sued them. That's what it was. It's got to be. That's why McDonald's had big bold letters. This coffee cup is hot. So I guess what happened is they went and did this thing. You know what I'm saying? And they said, look, we're going to get sued again. You call them up and make sure if you got any questions. Now look, this is the deal. May I be honest? We'll do it like this. May I be honest? Sometimes we got some home remedies. Make sure you tell your doctor and your pharmacist about your home remedies. I got some folks down home take the mason job to the backyard. Some of these other folks don't understand what that is. Y'all explain it to them later on. Well, you know what Granny said always when Billy Billy's? It might not heal you, but you feel better about it. But anyway, all those little things, we need to have those discussions and talk about that so be part of the thing. I think the number one thing that I look at the work that 54 is doing, just be happy. Every day when you wake up is a bonus thing. And no matter how much you may be hurt or whatever like that, you just get up with a smile on your face. And like it's a guy, it's a DJ back in Memphis. He keeps saying, tell the Lord thank you. Tell the Lord thank you. Tell the Lord thank you. So you just do that and get up and just try to be a blessing in somebody's life. And look, Facebook now, it used to be for young folk. Now it says for old folks. So we done took over Facebook. We get on there, we got Facebook Live, you can share it and check on folks and whatnot, your great grands and other stuff and everything. You can text. Y'all do text, right? I didn't want to text at first. My daughter started making me upset on Sundays. I want to talk to them. Then they finally told me, said, Pop, if you want to communicate with us, you got to text. Man, why I'm going to type something that's quick as me talking? So I had to learn how to text. And now I'm going to text it home. How to make that go. All right. Well, look, I know my time is, I don't want to over time. We're going to 5 more minutes. I'm good, okay. But I do want to share a couple of other stories, in all seriousness, that are going to be helpful in helping you understand why this All of Us research program is so powerful. A young lady in my class, I used to teach a health class at University of Phoenix, and she started crying. And I was saying to myself, well, I hadn't said anything controversial or sad or whatnot, but she was bawling. And I just had to ask her, what's wrong? She said that she was dating a guy, casual dating. She got pregnant. She didn't know that his family had some recessive genes, such that her child that was born needs 24-hour care. And she said that we do things in a casual fashion, that sometimes we need to ask them more questions. Literally, this young man, you know, I hate to say it, but it's pretty much 9 times out of 10, if you get somebody pregnant, this is what's going to happen. And I said that story because we need to have more conversations about the genome, our genetics. Because think about it, she's a young lady, and her child needs 24-hour-a-day care. She was devastated. They weren't in love, they were in life. But as we start having more conversations about genetics and stuff, we can work that in and find out. That's the one story. The other story we see is controversial now. That for whatever reason, there's some moms, when they get pregnant, it starts off well, and doesn't eat very well. It just happens. Out of the best they do. And some of that is genetically related. But you know the political climate we're in now, that sometimes these women need procedures. Amen.
Amen.
And it's nothing to do with, I don't want the baby. It's just that the baby dies inside, or what the case may be. And one of the things that All of Us research program has promised us to help us attract those things. But sadly, because of the fact that we want to tell doctors what to do, so I tell you, I got a doctorate, but I'm not a medical doctor. I ain't met the guy on TV, you know, the city operator, took his appendix out or whatever, the TV commercial. Right. So that's the other part about it, okay, that we're looking at. I want you all to be on the forefront here in Nashville with 50Forward to end your Thanksgiving dinner that you have coming up, in your Kwanzaa activities, in your MLK weekend things, to make talking about genetics part of your family conversation. I'm serious about that. They need to know these things. So guess what happens? If you start talking about it, and your children start talking about it, and your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, we will create a whole other generation where things like the All of Us research program, we ain't got to have special programs and other things to get people to enroll. It just be automatic. I think we did this after several generations. We'll start knowing the things not to do. We'll start knowing better things to do. It's all about it. So look, our young folks learned how to smoke from someone, didn't they? And look, even that mason jar, that got passed down, I guarantee you. Some of your recipes that you have for Thanksgiving. Okay? So why not now some things about learning about genetics? Why we are the way we are. You know, when I was growing up, I didn't think about this type of stuff. You know, and I thought being healthy was just not being doctor sick. See, it was, you know, back in the day, you didn't go to the emergency department because there was always home remedies. Right. And I love to have a cold. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love to have a cold. Yeah, I gotta come in a cold. But I'm gonna fix you a hot toddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So for those watching on Facebook, you can look that up. Yeah.
They used to go out in the woods and just lay out the roots. They used to go out in the woods and dig it up and come back and let it dry. And they never was sick. They never did have the colic, indigestion, anything.
The colic? I hadn't heard that in a long time. But that's why I said doctor sick, because most sickness you took care at home.
That's right.
All right? Cow chip tea, you know, stuff like that. I mean, rub with some sound. And coal oil can solve anything. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. That ain't coal oil. That's kerosene down there. That's turpentine, yeah. I asked somebody for some coal oil. I said, what? They call it kerosene now. But y'all, look, I grew up with coal oil. Don't let a spider bite you some, boy. You rub it on there and the coal oil and anything. Put some coal oil on it, yo. Everything, whatever it was, you know. Put the coal on it. Yeah, put coal on it. Yeah, back in the day, so come on with me now. See, I told you I raised by my grandparents. I ain't old, but I raised by my grandparents, so I said, I know that stuff. Huh? So I put that stuff in there. But it worked.
The mustard pass, the pack.
Yeah, all that stuff lined up now. And you, if you went to the doctor, you really were sick. And now, if they got a toe ache, they're in the emergency department.
Yeah.
So, guess where I'm going with this? So not only are we the All of Us research program looking at genetics and all these things, but we're also looking at stories that we can share. This is all part of it. As we continue to grow out the number of people enrolled, we don't know where it's going to go. But one thing that I'm excited about 50Forward is the stories. The things you can talk about, that we talk about here. All things you all did when you didn't have to go to the doctor for most anything. Those are conversations that we can generate through this All of Us research program. Who knows? One of those things that you talk about, that when they go and test it out, there's probably something in that that ingredient something that they can work on to make everybody better. Okay? I know we get called old fogies and we know all this type of stuff on it. But guess what? You didn't make it to the age you are now by doing a whole bunch of stuff wrong. I mean, call it like a fact. I always tell my church, young people, I said, admire people who got up in age. I don't care how you may think crazy they are now or whatever else. They had to do something right to make it to 70, 80, 90. It wasn't all wrong.
That's right.
No, something had to be right. And as a minister, I love to share the story about the woman with the issue of blood. Because I preached it so wrong for so long. Yeah, I did. When she touched him in his garment, that was my high gear then. I'm going to get my hoop on. Because she healed. The ladies get happy back there. They say, go ahead. Come on. Y'all heard that the preacher touch the hem. Oh, it went down. Yeah, y'all heard it. Y'all get happy. Oh, preach on, preach on. I said, wait a minute now. That's not heal her physically. But to be truly healthy, you got to be healthy mind, body, and spirit. So I realized when she touched him with the garment, that was just the body. She was only 1/3 healed. And Jesus was a master healer. And I apologize for those who are not Christians, okay? Actually, I don't apologize. That's what I believe in, but you don't want to offend anybody, especially all on Facebook. We're good, okay? So the second thing Jesus did was he asked who touched her. Because he wanted to work on her mind. And he knew if she had a testimony, that meant her mind was together. And guess what? She said, what? And so she testified. And that made, now she was 2/3 healed. Her body was healed and her mind. But she still was not healed spiritually. All right? So what did Jesus do with that? So this was like a church service, right? So he gave her the benediction. The benediction is a blessing. I know some of y'all leave church before, but anyway. But the blessing. You know, just told her to go in peace. Shalom. Shalom, which is Hebrew. We always translated peace, but it means more than that. It means that you are in harmony, mind, body, and spirit. And at that moment, she was healed spiritually. And so now, if every time I get a chance to preach that, I bring all three parts together to let them know, for those of us Christians, that it's important for Jesus that everybody would be Trinity well. And so we're going to talk about the All of Us research program. We're talking about all that stuff. Your mind, your body, and the spirit. And they're all part of that. They all come together. For those that of our Jewish faith, the Old Testament, when they came to Shalom, it was saying, I'm together, mind, body, and spirit. And I'm hopeful that you're the same way. And so as you all interact here with 54, the things you're doing, when y'all greet each other, always remember that you want to make sure everybody that's around you and whatever are the same way you are. Now look, I know some of y'all on canes, and some of y'all take more medicine than the pharmacy got, and some other stuff. I know this. Yeah, and ask for some more. I know this stuff. Yeah, it's for real. But I'm gonna put another Christianity thing in here. So, but Paul had to learn what God told him, that what? When you are at your weakest, right. So I feel like whatever I'm slacking on the physical side and the mental side, He's going to put more on that spiritual side and make things better. One of the things they studied is how prayer helps people to be healed. Don't you feel better? You know you got some folks. Now, look, some folks don't need to pray though. I don't need to pray. You know who they are. I don't want anybody praying for me. Now y'all know better than that. You just need to be sure praying for you. Somebody be praying the wrong prayer. Huh? Mess you up. Make sure, because some prayers don't get to the ceiling. Amen. But what's some real praying for?
Preach.
Yeah. I mean, Pastor, hold up. Don't have everybody praying for me. You know that person up you over there don't care for you too much. But anyway. But line up those things. Right. And put all those things in there. I think as we look at the whole package, mind, body, and spirit, especially across the room we're looking right now. And when you show that, that is one of the major reasons why you're still here today. Because you found ways to balance those three. Because let's be honest, sometimes you don't feel like getting out of bed. Sometimes you don't feel like cooking.
That's right.
Everything.
I'm disagreeing
Okay, well.
with the cooking.
And those things. But I've learned the little things you do around the house that you're able to do, no matter if they take you all day to do it, you feel so much better after you've done it. And then you come to the conclusion, I want to get to bed because I'm tired and sleep and not be lazy. So I challenge you all. I'm wrapping up. I challenge you all as you help us with this All of Us research program to keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have it. I'm hoping everybody here is enrolled. Share the information. Tell the story. You see how it had an impact on me. I'm just 58 years old. I know I'm a young whippersnapper compared to you all. My grandfather was born in 1908. So all those stories he told me when I was coming up, I'm able to share them back with you. And you can believe I still use them in my own life. I've had some major health challenges, had a bunch of surgeries and stuff. But a lot of things he talked about and things he did have allowed me not to worry about when my body ain't quite right. I just keep on trucking because I have this other thing working with me. Okay? And at 39 years old, I thought I was going to die because of the illness I had. I thought I was going to be over with. So I started praying another prayer. I used to pray, Lord, heal me, heal me, heal me, heal me. And then I realized it wasn't the right prayer. The prayer should have been, Lord, give me strength. So I started doing that. So whatever it is. So if it gives you strength, whether you get healed or not, you're able to endure it.
All right.
See, that's what I do for lots of tell folks all the time. Stop praying and say, Lord, heal me. It might not be his will. Right? It's about to go through. Because eternity, our lives, even if it be 100, 150, whatever, 120, is nothing compared to eternity. So don't you think sometimes, Lord, just give me the strength.
Yes.
And it don't have to be something big. Look, well, maybe today it ain't the strength to sweep the floor, push the vacuum cleaner, and do all that. Maybe today is just getting about the bed and getting the remote control so I can watch Price is Right. I know y'all watch Price is Right. Yeah. My grandma didn't miss Price is Right. This was a half hour. Bob Barker, everything stopped. There was two things my grandmama. Price is Right and the wrestling. Yeah, just everything stopped for that.
Yeah.
So you can pray, say, Lord, just give me strength to get up, get the remote control, and watch the Price is Right. Man, you done that, you got a whole good day. You gonna lay down the rest of the day now, got it done. Amen. But look, I'm gonna stop right there and get things lined up. Hopefully, I didn't bore you. It was worth it. I thank my wife for driving me up this morning. All right, I'm gonna turn it back in the hands of MC. Of course, I'll still be around in the questions, but hopefully you picked up a few things, some things to share, whatever else. But I'm glad to be a country boy from Coldwater, Mississippi. The only place you can take a hot bath in Coldwater.
Give Dr. Ryder another round of applause. Thank you so much for that informative talk. And speaking of sharing stories, what a perfect segue that Dr. Miner said. We would like to invite some of our wonderful FiftyForward All of Us peer ambassadors to the stage to share their story on why they joined the program. And first up, we would like to invite Mr. Vernon Privat.
Thank you. Can you hear me without holding this up to my face?
No.
Okay, I gotta do it this way. Wow, following the good doctor is tough. It made me think of one thing. I'm gonna share it on the beginning because I'll forget if I wait till the end. And he talked about and kind of mentioned at the beginning and the end of having a right attitude, a good attitude, and this is appropriate maybe for a group 50 and plus, which I'm slightly over 50, and it was a baseball player that was maybe popular when I was a kid, and he didn't make it to the pros till he was in his 40s. And some of you may know who I'm talking about. His name was Satchel Paige. And he was, when all the rest of the guys were retiring, he just made it to the majors. And somebody asked him, so how do you do that? He says, how old are you? And he says, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? And that's kind of been my motto ever since I passed 60 and 70 and gets up there. But anyhow, why I joined, this outfit called All of Us is it was personal reasons. My wife had passed away, and about a year or so later is when I first heard of All of Us. And she had a disease that's called Lewy body's dementia, and they still don't know a whole lot about it. And the doctors were doing everything they could. They were giving her all kinds of treatments. And then when they started talking about one size fits all, when I joined All of Us, and precision medicine, and I knew the doctors were doing everything they could, but they didn't have enough information. And then when I started hearing more about it and how we were gathering this data, and all you've got to do is just go put something in the computer. They don't bug you. You don't have, a lot of things to go through, hoops to jump through, or anything like that. And you can be doing something good to help your family, your children, to find answers to all those questions. And of course, we were underrepresented because she was almost 80 when she passed away, and those people are underrepresented in medical research. So if you're if you're anything but a white male from 20 to 55, you're probably underrepresented. So now's the chance to just take a few minutes, and I recommend you all join. I think you'll love it. I got some great news this week. I did in addition to giving the information, I did the blood and urine specimen, and I just got back my DNA information. And that was and there's a little bit of everything in there. The first thing was it showed about where my ancestors were from, and actually it kind of fit with where mom and daddy and grandma and granddaddy told me. So that was good. The part, I guess the most exciting part, I just was looking at and talking to my cohorts here, was the part about hereditary diseases, and it said nothing remarkable. Yeah. So I'll close with this. If you just take the time, sit down, and there's not much to it. If you have any questions to ask any of us, we can show you how to join All of Us, and it won't take any time at all. You'll be helping yourselves and your families and other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for that. And next up, we will have our next peer ambassador, Ms. Carolyn Hall.
Well, I hope I have 10 grandchildren, and 5, 6, 7, I think, great-grands. But I have this one. We adopted him a few years ago. We adopted him. He was 2 years old. That was the length of life that Vanderbilt gave him. He'll be 13 next week. And we're so happy. So hopefully he'll be selected to be in the pediatric study. And to see what's making him tick. Because he has cerebral palsy, but he's also on the spectrum. And his brother is 8, and he's nonverbal, but communicates just the same. And so hopefully we'll be in that list and on that list to have them seen about this summer.
That is great news to hear. Thank you, Ms. Carolyn, for that. And now we'll welcome Ms. Vera Coleman to the stage.
Thank you. You stole my thunder. No, seriously, when I saw that the launching was going to be in Vanderbilt, I meant to be there because I had heard that the National Institutes of Health was one of the sponsors. I had a lifetime grant with the National Institutes of Health. I had 35 years of biomedical research. And so I was well aware of what research does and what the capabilities are. one of those that was misdiagnosed with the hypertension. And I had to go to the Vanderbilt hypertension division to have it worked out. I cannot take ACE inhibitors. They put me on lisinopril, and it almost killed me. And out there, I found that I can take the ARBs. So now anything that has sartan in it, I can take it. That's the importance of having your DNA sequence. And I too, like Vernon, was in that first group. And I have had my DNA sequence, even the medical part. And now, when I go back for my physical, I have it printed out and I will take it to it. Since then, I got me a geriatrician as my physician rather than as my PCP. I left the regular one and realized that I needed a doctor to know how to work with old folk. The 22nd of this month, I will be 89. So I'm a Thanksgiving turkey. My geriatrician told me, he said, one way I want to treat you. He said, I just want you to go like this, your health. I walk 2.5 miles 5 days a week, every morning. And he said, I want your health to do this, and then you just drop off and die. I said, that's what I want. I don't want to do this. I want to go straight, and then all of a sudden, she's gone. So I just thank you all. You all heard my story, and I implore you.
Yes.
Not just to ask you, I implore you. I know the diseases that's in my family on both sides, with my mom and dad. Hypertension, heart trouble, it's there. Osteoporosis is there. And I do know there are some things that I can do. And I get up every morning, thank you, Lord, for another day. This is a day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And I grab my salve and put it on. And I head out for about 2.5 miles. So I just praise God for all of you. You know, He's in everything. I am a believer. So I can't leave that out. I'm just so thankful for all of you. And when I look around, and Miss Lena, I remember she was one of our first people, Kelsey. She was one of our first ones that we got here in Bordeaux. Sure did. And so we just praise God for all that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Garrett, for that awesome testimony. All right. Thank you also to our rest of our peer ambassadors, Brian, and also Ms. Carolyn, for those wonderful testimonies. Okay, so wow. On behalf of 50Forward, I would like to thank each of our fabulous guests today, and a very special thank you to our audience that's tuning in on Facebook. Give a round of applause for yourself as well, okay? The 54 Bordeaux members, give yourselves a round of applause. Also for tuning in, and Nicole, thank you as well. We hope that you all have enjoyed today's program. For those who are enrolled in All of Us, thank you, and please log into your account to see if you have any new surveys to complete. If you have not yet joined All of Us, but would like to, please visit our website at joinallofus.org/50forward, or speak with one of us after the program. Again, thank you all for being here, and have a great rest of your day.